I was
Okay.
admitted to Tuck, Ross, and A. Initially, I had a lot of homesick because I have two kids at home. I'm just missing them. I talked to many alums and the current students. I felt that Tuck would be right fit for me. If you apply by September 1st, you will be getting guaranteed interview invite. Tuck really values Tuck nice and helping each other or empathetic because that's what you have to exhibit. That day evening, I called you to share the score and we were happy and
Right.
we were discussing how we should go about it. Take breaks that will help you to reflect what you are doing and if there is any improvements.
Perfect. Hello, everyone. Welcome today. We are joined by a very special guest, Anusha, today, who is joining us from the US. Anusha is currently doing her MBA from the Tuck School of Business. She is currently into her second year, and she is here to share some amazing insights into her journey. She has faced a lot of challenges along her way, even while we were working together. There's so many instances that come to my mind, but I'm sure Anusha would be a better storyteller that way. I am hosting this session not only to understand her journey about going into tech or about the application process, the interviews and all, but also to gain insights into her life at tech. How has she been navigating those challenges, and what is she excited about in her future? How is she looking at the job market? What is next for her, and how will she probably plan her journey from now on? Anusha, I want to turn this to you now. Why don't you just walk us through your background a little bit first? Help us understand your academic background, maybe your professional background, pre MBA, and then we'll just take it from there.
Sure. Thank you. Thank you, Nivan, for having me. I'm super excited to be here and share my insights and my experience as well. So, I was a mechanical engineer and I graduated in 2014 from JNTU. And post graduation, I joined HPCL, oil and gas industry, in the mechanical engineering services. I worked on some projects and then I was promoted to the role of assistant manager 3 years later, and I handled expansion of that refinery, those projects, brownfield projects. So in that process, I felt that my experience is getting pigeonholed, and I thought that the growth is limited in that role. So I
Okay.
was not sure at the time what I should do, but after talking to some alums from my college and who are there in where I wanted to be, so they advised me MBA would be a right choice at that time
Mhm.
because I had this engineering background, and in my work experiences also mostly I felt that it is more towards engineering, leaning towards engineering rather than the business strategy.
Right.
Thought MBA would definitely upskill me and to take places where I cannot go without this MBA. So, but I decided that in 2020 during the time of the COVID, where I delivered my first kid. So I thought I took a time, reflected myself for 6 months, and then I thought, okay, this is the time I should move towards my MBA.
Right.
But I thought it would be very easy process. Just give your GMAT applications and then you'll get into a good business school. So I thought it's very easy peasy because I had a good academic record till then. I cleared a good rank with state examinations, and also the gate I got a good rank. So I'm so confident that I would be able to crack GMAT and get into the business school within 1 year or 1.5 year. But
Mhm.
that was completely wrong in my case. I struggled like anything. So I started the preparation of the GMAT and I gave first time my GMAT score and I got 550. So I have,
Okay.
as every student, I have seen in the GMAT club 550 to 770, 550 to 760 in 1 month, 2 months. Then also I was like, okay, I'm going to get it. But then I understood the reality that it might not, for some people, it might be achievable, but some people, it might take some time.
Right.
So I have given my first GMAT test in around December 2020, and I
Mhm.
got around 620 or so. That was that was a time when I was devastated, and I started questioning myself: Is it the right path which I am going?
Mhm.
But still, I prepared on my own, and I have given my GMAT again in May 2021. Then also I got around 650 or 660. And then I thought this is not, I'm doing something wrong. I shouldn't do this way. Maybe there's another way. So I took a good 6 month break because I just want to get away from all this. And I already have a 1 year old. I want to concentrate on him at that time. So I took a
Mhm.
6 months break. And then again in around March 2022, I thought I will give just one attempt. I'm going to
Mhm.
give 100% to this and let's see what happens. I have taken some additional coaching because I wanted to unlearn the things which I'm doing wrong and relearn that. So I have taken a
Mhm.
private coaching and I have given again exam in October 2022. and then I got 770. Then I understood that it's not as easy as it seems, but for some
Mhm.
people might achieve, some people might not. So it's definitely sometimes I feel that very frustrating process for sure, but
Definitely.
one has to give the 100%, and then definitely the results they will get sometime. We have to be patient. MBA whole process is we learn patience. I am like very impatient girl. I need instant gratification of things, but I was made to learn the art of patience, and now, yeah, and that is a process. I think when I gave the GMAT that day evening, I called you to share the score, and we were happy and we
Right.
were discussing how we should go about it. And then by then, for the round one, I applied to some universities like Cornell, McCombs, and UNC, and I
Okay.
updated my score to the schools. And then I got
Mhm.
interview invites from all the three, and I got into all the three schools in the round one. For the
Mhm.
round two, I thought because I had a good score, I could go for some top 10 schools. So I
Mhm.
applied to Harvard, Wharton, MIT, Tuck, Yale, Ross,
Okay.
and these are the schools. Harvard, Wharton, I did not get any interview invites.
Mhm.
MIT, I got an interview invite, but I was not able to convert it to the admission. And I was
Okay.
admitted to Tuck, Ross, and Yale. And yeah, and I talked to so many people. That was like I have to take a decision, and I talked to many alums and the current students. I felt that Tuck would be right fit for me, and I would also be a good fit to the Tuck as well, like the both ways. So then I chose Tuck, and I'm here. This is the whole process of my
Got
MBA
it.
journey.
Thank you so much for going into so much detail, Anusha. But talk about resilience. I mean, so many GMAT attempts across, I think, a couple of years. I am sure it must have been challenging to keep yourself motivated to go through that entire process. And I think that is one of the most difficult part of the process because people feel that it can be very quick, very short. But when you get into it, you realize that essentially it might take 6 months, a year, or sometimes even more than a year to finally crack your dream B school as such. Coming into your choice of tuck, so you had multiple offers now, I think around five, six offers probably with you. Can you just deep dive a little bit into why you chose tuck? What were the impressions you got at that point in time? Okay, without reflecting more on your current personal experiences, why did you go about choosing tuck?
Yeah, so at that time I was contemplating between Tuck and Ross, to be very honest, and I also paid deposit for the Cornell. Cornell, I got a good amount of scholarship, but not that much from the Ross or Tuck. So I have to make the decision where should I go. So
Mhm.
till then, I talked to two or three students from each school. But after I got the admissions, I started to speak to the people where I wanted to go and the people who are targeting those paths, and how are they performing, and like what are the resources they have in those schools. That's what I first started to network. And second thing is that I felt because 2 years is the time which I'm going to spend, I wanted to be in a place where I feel comfortable as well, because these 2 years are my good amount of years, because I wanted to improve myself in many ways to have those reflections. So I thought the place is also very important, and I wanted a remote place as well. But all, especially Cornell and Tuck, are in the isolated places where I thought would be near to the future. That's what I wanted for the two
Mhm.
years in my life, and that is second thing. And third thing is that the response rate of the alums, the
Okay.
current students used to talk, but I used to message on LinkedIn to the alums, and I got almost 100% response rate from the Tuck. And
Wow.
Tuck's emphasis on the cohort, the community, that really spoke, like those response rates and how they wanted to help me really spoke to that community. So this is a network, like major part of the MBA is kind of network to
Mhm.
support you. So I felt that I am going to get intact. That's what my gut feeling said after those interactions. So then I chose like Tuck would be a great school.
Got it. And given that you had multiple schools, did you negotiate with tuck for scholarship? How was that process? Can you elaborate that a little bit?
Yes. So when I decided that Tuck would be the right school for me, and I had a good amount of scholarship from the Cornell, I negotiated with the admission officer from the Tuck. I just told him that I have so and so offers and I have this scholarship. And Cornell is
Mhm.
also generally you have to show the scholarship of the same league schools. That's what
Correct.
they say. So if the top 10 schools, you have to show that kind of scholarship. But Cornell being a Ivy League university, I was able
Mm.
to show that I got in Ivy League University this amount of scholarship. So could you please increase my scholarship? Then Tuck
Mhm.
was kind enough to match that scholarship, and then I got into Tuck.
Got it. Did it take a lot of to and fro's, or was it a very simple process as such?
So it took like 2 times. In my second attempt, I got the full scholarship.
Got it. Got it. Also wanted to deep dive on the application process. But before I move into that, given that we are just talking about Tuck a little bit, can you please go through your experience after you landed at Tuck, after you landed in US? How was that? How was your first few weeks? How was your first year? Was it better than your expectations or probably equal to your expectations? Could you just walk us through that, please?
So this is my first time in the US. I have never been. So this is a like very great experience for me. With respect to the TAC, when I came here, I came in August 2023. Initially, I had a lot of homesick because I have 2 kids at home. I'm just missing them. But gradually into the process, I did not get that much of homesickness feeling, I must say. After 3 or 4 weeks, though I'm missing, I was able to concentrate on everything. I'm learning new things from, especially from the students, my cohort. I'm learning and their experiences and how what are they being doing in their countries and how is the culture there.
Right.
And one sense is that because here there will be dorms and campuses in the same building, so you will be
Mhm.
having that close knit community, so you will not get that feeling of you have come to the different country and just living on your own. You will not get that. So after classes you will come to the dorms, and here also you will meet students, so you will meet new people and you will understand new different aspects. That is a great personal aspect, is something which I'm not sure if other schools is having, but for the TAC I'm happy that they have this concept so that we'll be able to know more about other students and people and culture. Apart from that, I feel some classes are really great in the TAC, and especially the core classes I have taken, because I don't have that much of business experience. I felt those are really interesting, and first 2 terms are kind of core classes on, and on the base of that we'll be having the electives. So
Mhm.
we have some amazing classes and amazing professors. Professor Ron Adnor, his ecosystem strategy thinking has helped me to think more about how to integrate the whole ecosystem in the business, just concentrating on a small subset of the business. So those are some classes which really helped me to push myself and to think. And there are manage behavioral classes as well, communicating with presence, and those classes. For me, I don't have that much of a communication grip. So by these classes, I'm just learning to improve myself with respect to the communication. So these are the best aspects. With respect to the tuck nice, they call it. While I was in India, I'm not sure if tuck nice is a branding they are using or really tuck nice is there. But everyone wants here to help, because this is a remote location. You don't have any, you will not have any transportation facility, Uber or Ola, these kind of services.
Okay.
So students would carpool in the group me or the WhatsApp, and they'll try to help each other, which I feel is tremendous, and it's showing the culture of the tuck. So these are some good aspects or surprising aspects for me, which I'm like grateful for.
Got it. And were there any challenges you faced while at Tug because of the remote location, maybe, or because it's the first time you landed in US? Any cultural shocks or challenges that you faced?
I wouldn't say cultural shock, but one thing, the challenge would be the remote location.
Mhm.
Sometimes, especially in my first year when there were classes and all, sometimes I feel I'm missing that city feels. So
Mhm.
that is something there. But Boston is like 3 hours in the bus. We have a coach here that is 3 hours from here. So that is something weekends you can go if you miss. If you have a family there, that's what I used to do. Apart from that, another challenge would be snow. Never used to snow. I was born and brought up in Andhra Pradesh. Vijayawada, Vizag was my place where I grown up. So snow, and I felt it's limiting in those times to go out. That is
Right.
something which I feel as a challenge in those 3 months. But December you'll be having a break. You can move out of that place. That shouldn't be a problem. So these are two things which are different for me, but there's something you can enjoy. Like you have to experience everything at the end of the day. So
And how much of a hindrance is location to networking or to recruitments or to these internships that you actually, aim for over there? Do you feel that because of the location it gets impacted, or that's not a hindrance at all?
So I did consulting in the Middle East. We don't have that much networking, but I have seen my students, my peers who did consulting in the US. Generally, the companies will come to the campus, so that shouldn't be a problem. And each firm will be having his own OCR, on campus representative. They will be stationed here for good 2 or 3 months, so that
Wow.
everyone have a chance to speak and then get the networking, and they will direct you to the office which you wanted to recruit to the people. So that is not a problem in a consulting, I feel. Like if there are any events, occasional events, I don't see much of a consulting events, but if there are any occasional events and if you have to go to that office, you can definitely go. But majority of the events, they try to include it in the Hanover. For the investment banking, my perception is that if you have to go and meet banker, you have to go to the New York. That
Mhm.
is like you have a coach. Dartmouth has a coach, which is 5 hours to the New York, but you have to go on the weekends till you get the recruited. That might be a case, but I would suggest if anyone is recruiting for the IB, they have to talk to the people who actually recruited for the IB. Don't take my advice on the face. That's it.
No, definitely. But I think it's still, good perspective on how things work at Tuck. Of course, the location, I think it's both a positive and a negative. And I mean, everything is, but it definitely brings its own challenges as such. Anusha, did you move there with your family currently? Could you talk a little bit about that?
No, I haven't. My family is in Abu Dhabi. My husband and kids are in Abu Dhabi, and I'm here. I just very frequently go there,
Okay.
but I didn't.
Got it. Was there a challenge there with the visa process, or did you decide for personal reasons that you would probably not be here with your family?
Yeah, they gave F2 visa for this for your spouse and also kids, but I think spouse cannot work on F2 visa. They can work only for the non-profits, which doesn't work for us because he doesn't want to do MBA or so, and he already had a good job in Abu Dhabi. So that is one thing. And for the kids, I wanted to bring them in the second year, but I feel that daycare is costly and I cannot afford as of now. In spite of spending that much daycare, I feel my husband can handle with like half of those expenses there, so we just made a decision. So and my parents-in-law also live in UAE, so they kind of occasionally take care of them as well, so that works for me.
Got it. Got it. No, definitely makes sense. It's much more practical as well. Gives you more opportunity to explore the MBA experience as well. Anusha, given that we are talking about expenses, I also wanted to understand. I know you mentioned that you got some scholarship from Tuck, but how did you go about financing the MBA? What were the options that you explored?
So when I got into Tuck Financial Aid, those people will contact you with the loans, with the number of companies that offer loans to you
Mhm.
for the Tuck school. So I got two kind of Discover, and there's one more firm which I'm not sure. So I got those two in my first year to explore, and I talked to the people, and where I got a good interest, then I applied for the loan there. So you can be having two loans. First is co-signer and non-co-signer. If you know a really good friend or family who can sign for you, then you will be getting a lesser interest rates. That I feel very useful if you definitely have a family. In my case, I don't have anyone who will co-sign on my loan, so I went for higher interest rates. But that would be taken care of the tuck. Even in the second year, Discover is not there. They're just selling their firm to another, and then
Mhm.
tuck got two other borrowers who can give us the loan for the tax school, and then it was an easy process. There's nothing difficult in that once you get into the tuck will make sure you will flow with that process and make sure you'll settle in the dorms, so that shouldn't be a problem.
Got it. So I think what you are saying is eventually everything was made smooth by the process that they had set in,
Yeah, yeah.
and there were no major challenges as such. Perfect. Anusha, that is all I wanted to know about Tuck. I just want to quickly move into the application process now. Okay, you applied to Tuck, you applied to so many schools, and you got in. I would love to ask you the mantra of cracking so many schools, but let's focus on Tuck. Tell me, is there anything different you did with Tuck in your applications? Maybe you kept in mind certain qualities that you need to focus on while writing your essays. How did you really go about the entire Tuck applications?
So I realized that the schools have will be having some values or mottos which we need to resonate with. That's what I understood as a first thing. So I started talking to the current students who are already there, and who might it would be very advantageous if you talk to the students who already have your background. That would be very advantageous. So I talked to current students, good number of 3 to 4 people, and I understood what really tuck values, what are they expecting from the students, and how my stories would resonate with the tuck with respect to those values. That's what initially I understood for any school, not only with the tuck. So
Mhm.
if you take tuck really values tuck nice and helping each other or empathetic, because that's what you have to exhibit here. After coming here, you have to help each other out because of the location or so other, like living together in the dorms. So I feel that you have to reflect that you have those qualities with your stories. I, for my second essay in the tuck, I have given how I have helped other people with my in my community, and how I have shown that, and how I would be able to make this quality at tuck, how I would exhibit this at tuck. So that connection is really important when one is doing for the school applications. Like just having the same essays for all the schools might not work.
Got it, got it. But did you follow the same process then for other schools as well? Probably researched more on what qualities they were looking at, and
Yes.
then shortlisted your stories based on that for the essays and the application.
Yes, for all the schools, I did the same work, and career goals also, like kind of where those people are going. Like I have an oil and gas background, and how are the people are recruiting, what are the career paths they are going, and what I'm interested. Like in that way, we have to connect. And also another thing which many people have told me while I'm doing my applications is like, I think most basic, everyone knows that connecting your past experiences and how this MBA both will take you to the career which you wanted. So that's like the basic of the application which any-
Got it, got it. By the way, guys who are watching online right now, feel free to shoot your questions in the chat box. I might take it at the end, but please feel free to take this opportunity to ask Anusha any questions about tech as such. Okay, Anusha, let's come to the interview. Okay, I'm not deep diving into the essay questions because the essay questions have also changed a little bit from when you applied. They're asking different questions now. Probably the prompt is also different. So I don't want to go into much more detail. I think we get an idea on how you approach the questions. Anything that people should keep in mind while they are probably giving the tuck interview for you? How was the process? First of all, who interviewed you in terms of, was it an alum or an admissions team member? And then what did you do to prepare yourself for the tuck interview?
Sure. So the most of the interviews will be conducted by the second year students of the TAC. Yeah, and I feel that I used to check the questions in the GMAT club. There's a tab on the GMAT club where you can have all the questions. So I compiled all the questions and then I prepared those answers. Again, highlighting what TAC wants from the students and how my story exhibit those qualities is really important for the question. So I think that is most important. But in my time when I applied, mostly it is behavioral questions, like almost behavioral questions. So why tuck, and how do you feel fit, and some other questions would tell me about a time. Those are the type of questions which I got, but I really practiced it. And using a star technique would really help you to articulate the answer in a better way. The star would be situation, task, action, and result. So that is a technique which I followed, and it really helped me in articulating my answer and projecting how I might be able to fit in the tuck. Especially you have to show that you are a good fit to the school, and also tuck would be a good fit to you. That not even tuck, any other school would be a good fit to you. That's the process you should um, prepare for.
Got it. Got it. Eventually, there was only one interview, if I'm not wrong, right? With Chuck. You only have one
Yeah,
interview, correct?
yeah, only one interview.
Got it. Makes sense.
And tuck has a early action, early round. Like
Okay.
if you apply by some day, let's say if you apply by September 1st, you will be getting guaranteed interview invite. That would be helpful if you want to show that you have special interest in the tuck, which I feel would really help you to make sure that tuck is your first choice, and that will give them the confidence. So
Got it. I don't remember. Did you apply in early action or did you apply in
yeah, I applied by December 1st. That was a deadline for the confirmed interview, and then I got an interview. It will be automatically you'll get that interview schedule. So I think that would be useful way if anyone wants to really want to tuck.
Got it. So I have a question and I'll probably take it right away. So essentially, what Ritesh would like to know is, given that you have an oil and gas background and right now you did an internship with consulting, right, in the Middle East. Was that transition easy or did you find difficulties with that?
Uh, Actually, I did not do internship in the
Okay.
consulting in the Middle East, but I can tell you how consulting you can approach consulting.
Hmm.
So, like you have a consulting club at schools, and that would be really helpful for you. So, at the TAC, how it happens is that once you enter this, you will show interest in the consulting, and you will join the consulting club. So, you will be
Hmm.
attached to a mentor who is already there in the consulting industry, and they would help you to learn about like how you should approach networking, what is the casing basics, how you should prepare for the casing and all. For the 2 months, every week they will consult you, and they'll tell you the those tactics which you should handle. And they will also case you, and they'll be having a scheduled time where you will be cased by a senior mentor every other day. So that's something which is really helpful for you to get casing. So this is a very standard process which tuck will make sure that you will get into this process, like giving you a mentor and then schedule casing, and then you will case with your peers and then attend the interviews in January. So the process starts in the September 1st or second week, with companies coming in and giving their presentations and doing networking and everything. Ultimately, the January would be the time where you will be giving your interview. So this is the timeline of the process, and Tuck has a very good club which will help you to get into this if you want to.
Got it, got it. My bad. I think I assumed consulting was what you did as an internship in the Middle East. So, what are you pursuing right now? I mean, what internship did you do, and what are your goals after TAC?
I did two internships. One is with the Halliburton in the Middle East, that is oil and gas industry, where I worked in the strategy group. And second is with the Cornell University in the US, that is for optimizing the business process. These two are the internships which I did because I wanted to check whether Middle East or US would be a right option for me post MBA. That's what I wanted to check because I already have a family there, but I don't want to miss on the US as well. So that's what I did. So I'm still figuring it out about recruiting for my full time.
Got it. Got it. Makes sense. Makes sense. Definitely. Perfect. Anusha, I think these were most of the questions that I had. Any specific tips or pointers that you have as a parting thought that you feel that people should keep in mind, given I know how many challenges you faced in your journey, right? And a lot of people currently are going through the same set of challenges, the same, I would say, need to showcase that resilience that probably you did. Any parting thoughts or advice from your end on that?
Like I was in your shoes 2 to 3 years back. I know this process is sometimes frustrating. Don't get frustrated. If you need breaks, short time breaks, just take breaks that will help you to reflect what you are doing and if there is any improvements you need to do. That is my first thought. And second thought is each and everyone's journey is very different. Just don't compare with others' journey. That would definitely make you feel so, depressed or so. So everyone is struggling their own battle. So just go with the flow and give your 100%. You'll definitely get the best.
Perfect, perfect. Thank you so much, Anusha. Guys, in case any of you have any questions, right now is the time to shoot. Otherwise, I'm going to end the session in the next 30 seconds. But Anusha, I really want to thank you for taking the time out. I know you must be super busy right now with the entire MBA experience and prepping yourself for what's next in your career and your journey. And thank you so much for taking the time out and sharing your insights with us today. I hope we can connect more often, right? I would definitely love to reach out to you post the Tech MBA piece is done and to understand how was that entire journey in retrospect and how it really helped you achieve your goals.
Thank you, Nivan, for having me here. I'm super happy to share my experiences, and I was just reflecting now how I just faced all those challenges. And thank you for this opportunity. And yeah, I'm happy to connect anytime. Thank you.
Perfect, perfect. I don't see there are any more questions now. So thank you so much, Anusha. Take care and have a lovely day.
Bye. Bye, Nirvan. Have a great day.